Hello Tribe, and welcome to the 7th chapter of On Purpose. In this video, we explore how we can be more intentional with our money and in our financial lives. So let's begin. Take a moment to still yourself. Focus on your breathing again and intentionally breathe more deeply and slowly. And try to let go of any presumptions or stories about yourself, your relationships, your world, and God that might keep you from opening to life as we go through this practice today. You may want to make a commitment to yourself to be receptive to anything that God or the universe may want to offer you through this practice. Then when you're ready, ask yourself, where am I now? And think about that particularly as it relates to your finances. When you feel you have some sense of an answer to that question, then ask yourself, where do I want to be at the end of 2022? And remember to keep your answers to these questions in mind throughout today's practice. So what is your relationship with money? Over the years, I've come to realize that my own relationship with money actually isn't very healthy. But I've also realized that the same is true for a lot of other people. See, I was raised on the idea that the love of money is the root of all evil, as it says in the Bible. And so naturally, in my striving not to love money, I worked hard to avoid it, to not think about it, and to give it away whenever possible. I remember years ago, I think I was probably still in my teens even, I read about a Christian businessman who gave 90% of his income away and kept only 10%. And of course, being me, I set that up as my standard. The only problem was that I was not a multi-millionaire like that man was that I read about. And so needless to say, there have been lots of times in my life when I haven't had enough money. And when I have had some excess money, I've always felt conflicted. It's taken a lot of work to begin to enjoy the things that I'm able to buy with the money I have. And on my journey to get comfortable with money, there have really been 3 significant insights that have helped me. The first was a few decades ago when a friend I respect and admire taught me that money is simply a way to measure value. That value is determined by the nature of the thing we're measuring, but also by the value we place on it as a society. I mean, as an absurd example, if you put together all the elements that make up a human body and check the financial value, a human being is really only worth a few cents. And yet we all agree that the value of a human being is beyond measure, so much that we agree that it is morally wrong to buy and sell human beings. And so money just helps us have a sense of value on things, which is not necessarily intrinsic. It can be attributed. The second significant insight came from a motivational speaker by the name of Neal. Now, I'm not a big fan of motivational speakers and self-help gurus, but Neal has been one person who's been refreshingly different and down to earth for me. In one of his books, he defines financial freedom not as having lots of money, but as having the capacity to make money when we need it. And there's a balance here that I find very helpful. And then the third and final insight that helped me came fairly recently from a book by David Hayward, or The Naked Pastor as he's known. The book is called Money is Spiritual, and I'd really recommend you to read it if you haven't already. I liked it because David Hayward's journey to having a healthy relationship with money has been very similar to mine. And his insights into the nature of money and how to have a healthy and spiritual relationship with it have been extremely valuable. He helped me to see, and I'm quoting from him, that there's nothing inherently evil in money, nor the need for it, nor the appeal for it. It's how life works. One story in particular really spoke to me in this regard, and I'm going to give it to you exactly as he writes it in his book. This is him speaking. Years ago, when I was going through what my wife Lisa calls my Gandhi phase, I read a biography about Gandhi. The author, journalist Louis Fisher, interviewed some people who lived on Gandhi's ashram. One of them told Fisher, "It takes a lot of money to keep Gandhi poor." It shocked me. Yes, Gandhi chose a life of poverty, and I admired it and wanted to emulate it, but it took a lot of money for him to do it. It required cash from many generous donors to build and then run the ashram, provide food for the members, supplies, buildings, travel, and so on. In the light of these three insights, I've decided to shape my relationship with money around three practices that I believe will help me to have a healthier relationship, both with myself and with money. The first practice is this: if money is a measure of value, then my ability to bring money into my life is directly related to how I value myself and my work. Now, this truth challenged me to take a very good look at how much I value myself and what I do. And to be honest, what I saw was not great. I realized that I've always had a tendency to devalue myself and my work. As one high school teacher once said about me, I lack confidence in my own abilities. And so I've made it a practice to be more objective about myself and my value. For example, I have a good friend who once played in a band with Cliff Richard. He's that good. And so when he tells me that he thinks I'm a talented musician, I'm learning to tell myself that I can trust him and I can use his support to build my confidence in my own ability. I've also started collecting testimonials about the work I do to remind me that people find great value in what I offer. And finally, I'm learning to look within myself and be as honest and open as I can about what I'm capable of, what I've accomplished, and who I am as a person. And so that learning to value myself is a primary practice for me in my relationship with myself and with money. But secondly, I've also learned to identify the ways that I'm able to bring money in when I need it. I've taken stock of the relationships and networks that I'm part of and the skills and resources that I have that I can use and have used many times to bring in income when I've needed it. And so this has gone a long way to helping me to deal with my anxiety around money. And that greater sense of financial peace has helped me to be wiser and more creative when it comes to money. And so that links with Michael Neal's idea that financial freedom is knowing we can bring in money when we need it. And then lastly, knowing that everyone, including Gandhi, needs money, that has helped me to realize that it's not bad or evil to want enough money to live on and to share with others. I've realized that I can't help people in poverty if I'm struggling financially myself. And so there is the potential for goodness in my quest to generate income. So let me ask you again, what is your relationship with money like? What intentions would you want to set for this year around your financial life? What systems can you create to support those intentions? And what habits will you need to ensure that you can fulfill your intentions? Money can do a lot of evil in the world, but it can also do a lot of good. Which it is for us depends on the nature of our relationship with money. I want to get healthier financially in 2022 than ever before. What about you? And so I invite you to take a moment now to just sit with this meditation. What spoke to you? What challenged you or excited you? What would you want to carry with you through the rest of this week? And when you're ready, I encourage you to think about what you want to add to your vision board this week if you've been keeping a vision board going through this series. Are there any images or symbols or words or anything else that you can put on that board that will help you to envision how you intend to live on purpose this year? And again, if you need to pause the video while you do this reflective work, feel free to do that. And now as we end this video, and as we prepare to go into the rest of our week, I encourage you to think about what intentions you want to set for your financial life in 2022. What systems will you put in place to support the intention? What habits will you build into your life to make this intention a reality? And now I wish you an intentional week, a healthy financial life, and an expanded capacity to live on purpose. See you next time.